Stand by, everybody. Here we go. Hey everybody, what's up? It is 7:59 Eastern. Good to see you. It's your friend James Shaw. Happy Tuesday. It's an Inspired Tuesday, which is great, and it's just a great day. And I'm super thankful that you were here this morning. High level quality conversation on the pre-show today. If you're watching the Facebook or YouTube stream, that means you missed the pre-show. And I'll just tell you, stop what you're doing. Just stop what you're doing right now. Go to your podcast platform of choice, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon if it's working. I don't know if it's working. And say, play the Pivot Shift Ahead Mastermind and listen to today's pre-show. It's the high quality content you cannot get anywhere else that will help you push your business forward. And that's the goal in today's market, is to be able to do that. Today, on this part of the call, we're going to talk about listings. Oh my goodness gracious. We're going to bring out two blasts from the past, something called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent right here, and a little spreadsheet from our friend Diana Kokoska. We're gonna pull out two back from the past. We're getting in our DeLorean. We're going in the Wayback Machine, and we're gonna get back to basics when it comes to taking listings as we move in to 2026. Now's the right time to do it. We're gonna give you the tools to be able to do it. But before we do that, something good, Melissa. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I do not play pickleball either, but anyways, I just want to say it is a great day. Thank you for calling on me. I am just coming off, so it feels like Monday to me, but it's not. I had my largest client appreciation event ever Friday night. 110 guests. It was so beautiful because it was like I looked out and I got so moved I wrote a speech, I was all prepared, but I looked out, there were so many children running around, and those children didn't exist when I met their parents, or maybe their parent was single. So then, I literally went into the speech about seasons, like the seasons of life, like helping people from maybe single to married to maybe divorced to parents coming to children coming. And it's just such a beautiful thing to see. So I just feel like we're in the best career, everyone. And just to be a part of people's lives and be in a relationship with these people was just a beautiful night. So I just want, if you want to see some pictures, feel free to check out my Facebook, but happy to share how it went. But it was beautiful.
Sounds like a fun event. Good stuff on that. Thanks, Melissa. Hey,
It
I'm
was
jumping up to
amazing.
Ashley. We don't hear something good from her very often. And Ashley, you helped inspire me adding this Diana Kokoska tool to the call today. So cheers to you on that. But Ashley, good morning.
Good morning. So I have two something goods. Last week, I closed my 33rd transaction for $10 million in volume for the year. So I'm super excited about that. And then yesterday, I took my third listing in a week.
Okay, this is a good day. This is a real good day. No wonder listings are on your mind this morning, which is really good. So I love it. Thank you, Ashley. All right, Lisa, you get the last one.
Thank you, James. I'm so inspired. The Pipeline Challenge last week really hit home with me. Kristen Jungles, I need that link to your call for getting on. I have made it my goal for the next 6 months to get myself in the seat to be on these calls, to have accountability. Yesterday, I was on Tulio's call. So 2 days a week, Tulio's call, 2 days a week with Kristen. Yesterday, I got 35 points in the Pipeline Challenge tracker sheet, and I got a listing appointment at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon because I did not get one during my 2 hour lead gen time. So you can get your appointments if you just keep making your calls. So thanks, James, for inspiring us and getting us moving forward in our business. Thank you
Lisa,
so
I'm so
much.
proud of you. To talk about on purpose, with purpose, which is something I say all the time, that's an example of it. You're using all your pivot and your inspire tools to make sure you pull it off. Kristen Jungles, by the way, the link to her call and all the approved calls, the ones that we endorse, those are in the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group. Go to the files section, type in the word links. You have to do it from your desktop. You can't search files on your phone. So you got to go to the desktop version and you can pull up the link so anybody can get on those. Lisa, I'm so proud of you. You're using the tools and the systems from Pivot and Inspire to give you great results, which I love. And by the way, Inspire members, I know many of you prefer to watch the recording of our calls, but today, if you can be on at noon Eastern, you should be on. Jessica is leading the call, and she when I did the shift workshop over the summer, and I talked about, what is your way to make sure you find the most motivated people so that you're working with people that are the most motivated. And then, of course, Tulio, who she works with, always says, say no to crack. Don't let any leads fall through the cracks. Well, Jessica said she's going to go figure out how to make sure that the people that she reaches out to and that the agents that she works with reach out to are motivated people. She built a system around it called the Motivated Mover Method. And she is walking you through it along with database tags, conversation starters, like 30 really simple conversation starters, and then 15 follow-ups. And that's today at noon Eastern, Inspire members. Now, I sent you the link this morning at 7:08 a.m. Eastern. It's also in the portal. She's got a ton of tools to share with you. She is extremely intelligent, and that call is going to be great. So Inspire members, noon Eastern. If you're not an Inspire member, I am sad for you, because this is one call that I think could totally change the way you follow up and stay in touch with your business moving forward. So Jessica, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you at noon Eastern. Now, as you do your lead gen and your lead follow-up and you're going out and getting your stuff done, the whole goal, honestly, is to take listings. Listings are the driver of the business. It says so right here. Whoop, it says so right here in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. If you jump up to page 41 of MREA, you'll see something that I've read many times. Millionaire Real Estate Agent, page 41, says listings are the high leverage, maximum earning opportunity in the industry. This is not a surprise to many of you. You know this. He says that what separates buyers from sellers is the amount of time necessary to work with them. Put in the chat, I'm just curious about your thoughts. This is if you aren't on page 41 of MREA. But just off the top of your head, according to Gary and Jay and Dave and the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, how many listings could an individual agent personally obtain in 1 month's time? Put it in the chat. How many listings could an individual agent, highly productive individual, personally obtain in 1 month's time? Put it in the chat. MREA says 15 to 25. 15 to 25 seller listings in a month. Now, for most of you, you don't need 15 to 25 to reach your goals. So don't be like, well, I'm only taking 3. That doesn't mean you're doing great. He's just telling you that's the opportunity. Now, how many buyers could that same agent work with in any given month? Put it in the chat. This is according to MREA. How many buyers? 7 to 8. 7 to 8. That's the maximum, right? He's saying we're going to max out at 15 to 25 seller listings or 7 to 8 buyer listings. So it would make sense from a leverage standpoint that you put your focus on listings. Now, as you think about your goals for 2026, and I know many of you are doing that, I'm doing a session next week all about it, a free Wednesday webinar about goals. So put that on your day timer, 2 o'clock Eastern next Wednesday. But as you think about your goals for the year, how purposeful are you getting with your listings? Like, do you have a plan to make sure you're on purpose with purpose when it comes to your active listing inventory? And as I'd planned to talk about this morning, I was on Facebook this morning and Ashley had gone in and said, hey, what's that tool that tells you how many listings you need to carry at all times? And I'm like, that's so smart. That is Diana Kokoska's listing needed calculator. And I posted it inside the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group this morning. And I want to show you the calculator now on how it works so that you understand how to use it. If this will work. Here we go. There we go. All right. So if you're listening to the podcast version, you're going to go watch the video on my YouTube channel or in the Facebook group so you can see it. But what this does is ultimately tells you how many listings you need at all times. This tool comes from Diana Kokoska, the original author of Bold. She ran MAPS coaching for years, and I'm extremely grateful for her. And this is the tool. The first number, see these green boxes? Those are the only ones you have to fill in. Green ones are the ones you fill in. And the first one's like, all right, how many homes are you going to sell next year? I just put 50 in as a number. Let's say your goal is 1 a week. 50. Next thing I do is account for 10% fallout. Now, I might change this to 15%. Put in the chat, do you think you should maybe update this to 15% fallout in today's market since more deals are falling out? At the time Diana created the calculator, she said calculate for 10% fallout. What this does is it removes the drama of when a deal doesn't close. You are planning for it in advance that you know you're going to have fallout. Well, if your goal is 50 transactions and your calculated 10% fallout, 10% of 50 is 5, which means that you've got to get 55 homes under contract to hit your goal of 50. Might be a little bit more now. You can determine that based on your market. Next one is a green box. Green box means you fill it in. What percentage of your closings will be listings? I'm just going with 50-50. 50-50. So of your 50 closings, 25 of them are going to be listings that you've sold. Of course, we have a 10% fallout, so that becomes 27.5. What percentage of your listings sell? I'm just using the Millionaire Real Estate Agent conversion rates right now. So I put in 75%. That's a green box. You fill that in, but I did 75% just as an example. So if that's the case, if you're going to do 50 transactions, which means you need 55 under contract, half of them are going to be listings, that's 28. 75% of them go under contract. That means you need to take 37 listings next year. Now, the challenge is most of you stop there. Most of you stop there and go, I need to take 36 listings. That's 3 a month. Da, 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 da. Good to go. When you're missing a step. And that is what's going on in the market. You got to go and figure out the average days on market so you know the turnover rate. Average day, a turnover rate is just determined by taking the average days on market and dividing it into 365. That gives you a turnover rate in a year. Where I am in Pinellas County, Florida, it's 84 days. 84 days right now is the average days on market. So you go put that in, and it takes the turnover rate and calculates it into the number of listings you need to take and says, here's how many you need to have at all times to reach your goal. It's 8.44, 8 to 9 listings active at all times. So I know going into the year, if I want 50 closings and half of them to be listings, I need to put my focus on having 8 to 9 active listings at all times. Now I want you to notice something right here. I'm going to go change the days on market. This is how the market can have an impact on your strategy, right? The market doesn't determine your success, it determines your strategy. And maybe you're in a place where the average days on market's 35 days. I change it to 35 days, it cuts in half the number of listings I have to take at all times. Now the challenge would be, what if you're in a market that had been, let's say it had been 15 days. Now I only need 1 to 2 active listings at all times. And all of a sudden now it's jumped to 35 days. Now I need 3 to 4 listings at all times. If you aren't paying attention to this stuff, this is an example of losing so slowly you feel like you're winning, that you think you are doing the right things to succeed, but you really aren't. Now I've uploaded this tool inside the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group for you so that you can go in and mess with it and play with it and figure it out. And so now I want to frame the conversation around, all right, you need 8 to 9 active listings at all times in this example. What's your play? What's your strategy on October 21st to make sure that when you get to January 1, you've got 8 to 9 active listings? Inspire members, this is why you need to be on today's call at noon Eastern, by the way, so that you're going after the most motivated people. But raise your hand and share with me, what is your play to make sure that you go into the new year, that you move your focus, let's move it away from finishing strong and moving it to starting ahead. 2025 is over. Let's go from finishing strong to starting out ahead. Rico, you start us off. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Terrific Tuesday. We'll have a big day again today. So I actually already started planning it out. January 1st and 2nd, I'm locking myself up in the office and I'm literally going after every single expired. That's the hottest time for expires. I mean, expired's been hot almost all month. But for me, 2 days locked in, January 1st and 2nd, and we're going to line up all the listings.
It's a great day to do it. If your expired's a part of your play, that's a great day. There are more expired listings that day than any other day of the year. Go get after it. Kathleen Garden, good morning.
Good morning, James. Yes, since we've been doing the pipeline challenge, I've acquired 2 listings in 1 week, which is right now pretty good because it's pretty competitive here in Metro Detroit. However, what I'm going to do, I sold because of the door knocking 7-level plan for an open house. In my old subdivision, I did a morning, just the neighbors, and then the afternoon was open house all day Saturday, Sunday. And I cannot believe how many people I gained as new clients because they have no representation. So the light bulb went off. I was like, why am I not farming in this neighborhood that I used to live in that has 500 houses? So I am putting all my budget money into that. I'm going to farm it because to farm, right, you have to touch them every month and then do client events in the subdivision. And that is my goal for the rest of the year so that I can fill the pipeline for listings for 2026.
Do the strategies that work. This goes back to our conversation last week on Monday. It's one that we actually have all the time. The easiest way to get purposeful about filling the pipeline full of leads so that you hit January 1 on track, ready to go with the number of listings you need is to do the strategies that A, work, and B, you like. So if you didn't hear last Monday's call where we went on we went all about the strategy of how to do that, how to figure out which lead sources are best, and then figure out which ones you like, go back and listen to the call from Monday, the 13th of October. That one lays it all out for you. It's on the podcast. It's free. It's open to everybody. On the podcast, in the Facebook group, on the YouTube channel, so that you can do what Kathleen has done, which is figure out which strategies work. Hey, Terry, we haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm coming to you in the Twin Cities. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I tell you, James, things have been kind of blowing up for me. It's crazy. I have 4 listings that are going to be coming in. I actually have 13 in my pipeline for 2026. Never have I been at this time of the year with that coming. So what I'm really trying to do is work with my listings. I'm doing pictures for 4 of the listings. I'm doing that this
Yeah, you
week.
better do those now in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah, hugely. It's so bad. But anyway, yeah, so I'm getting that done. I'm working at doing any kind of handyman stuff to make sure people are really truly ready to go and encouraging them and keeping their motivation up for being able to sell and make their move to go to their next chapter in life. It's just I'm just finding that keeping up. I have my pumpkin patch event this next weekend. So again, just being able to be before people. But my biggest thing is I'm going to be on Jessica's call. Oh my gosh, can't wait for that.
Hey, Terry, you have more listings in the pipeline you've ever had. How?
It's really weird. I was kind of going, I don't even know how, but I do. I being on this call has been so motivating, hearing everybody. I mean, I've been at the scratch and claw time, but I kind of really what it came down to is I put my big girl pants on and went, this takes work. I got to do it.
Go do the
And
work.
I just started calling people and being in touch with people and not just thinking it'll come to me. It was a real shift in my head, believe
I'm
me.
proud of you. Do the work, it pays off. All right, we've got 2.5 minutes to go, and I'm going to call on these 4 people. So you've got about 30 to 45 seconds each to get your point in. It's Stacy Grove, it is Byron Mims, it's Meg Dady, and it's Tim Johnson. Those are the 4. Stacy, go.
On our September 2nd Inspire call, we were challenged to check out how many working days we had left in the year. And I really took a lot of time on that, excluding weekends and days that kids are off school with fall break and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and whittled it down. And I've been tracking how many working days I have left each day when I come into the office. It's given me permission to truly be off on the days that I'm off. But when I am in the office, I'm dialed in. I know that from today, I have 31 days to go, which is written at the top of my tracker for today with today's date. And I know that when I'm in the office, I got to be all in so that when I'm not in the office, I can relax and enjoy my kids. It has given me permission to really, really work from rest rather than resting from work.
That's so smart. Thank you, Stacy. Byron, you're next. Good morning.
Good morning, James. So we've been October 1st, we started prospecting for a seller seminar we're having November 5th. We made door hangers, postcards. We've knocked just over 1,000 doors since then. So our goal is to, stack those listings for next year for those people that are waiting for whatever reason.
It's Fill the Pipeline. I think Jessica's call today for you will be really good for you to help organize the follow-up process and make sure you're really in a flow with the most motivated people, because you're meeting people constantly and sorting through who's motivated, who isn't, and how you stay in a flow with them is so huge. Thanks, Byron. Congratulations to your Cowboys. Meg Dady, good morning.
Good morning. So, I'm all about events. So, I stacked the events for the winter just to specifically to build the pipeline for January, February. And this fall, I have 4 events coming up, 2 wreath making, 1 mixology, and 1 like breathwork meditation. So, everyone who's kind of like even halfway raised their hand is going to get an invite to one of those. And then also, similar to what Terry said, we're just reaching out to people. I mean, there are still some leaves on the trees, they're falling quickly. So just even getting like exterior photos going. And I think back to just kind of where you started the call, like my goal this year and next year is just 5 transactions a month. And so I'm literally plotting out on my pipeline calendar what month I think everyone's hopefully going to close. And so I can sort of visually figure out who are going to be, like planning for that fallout, because we have in the past like 3 weeks had 10% fallout. Um, but planning ahead for that fallout and then just kind of really focusing on who are those top people right now that we can start getting into for January.
It's a purposeful business, Meg. Thank you. Tim Johnson, you get the last word. Good morning.
Good morning. One of the things that we've done in the last probably about a month, especially doubled down in the last couple weeks, is we've really ramped up our buyer adoption program, and that's something that we started probably about 6 months ago. And so we've gone back to the beginning of real estate for us and looked at everywhere we've sold one of our listings, and we've reached out not only to those buyers but to their neighborhoods. And we have right now, coming up in the next month, we have about 15 million in listings in the pipeline, and it's just been unbelievable how that there's been a response, because there's so many agents out there who either aren't in business anymore, but they have no clue how to follow up. And we're literally just coming in, and we already have super fans in those neighborhoods who are talking us up, and we connect those people with our clients, and it's like we're getting calls every single day that people are coming around. And then of course the old standby for us is our expired letters. Those old expireds, they're still working, and it kills me. I talk to agents every week who are running that play around the country, and it's working for them too, but you got to stick with it. And it's just, to have that amount of business here at the end of the year, and I've had some pretty significant things pop up in my life in the last few weeks, but we're still running that play. We're literally doing it with, at a high level, and it's only a couple hours a day that we're doing it. That's it.
It's what I heard from you is figure out what your plays are and run them consistently. Do it long enough that it works. And whether it's your expired letters or something else, it's not a one and done strategy. It's an ongoing, purposeful strategy. We did a Wednesday webinar, by the way, with Tim's letters. I just put the link in the chat. So you can go to jamesdshaw.com, click agent interviews, just type expired, it'll pop right up. And Inspire members, he shared the letter template with you. So if you want to use his letter, you've got that in the portal. We'll continue this tomorrow. There were hands we didn't get to today, and I want to get it in. But I really do think if we can take advantage of like the next 2 weeks, this last 2 weeks of October, to really build that pipeline full of listing opportunity. So you get to January 1 and you know how many listings you need to take for the year, but then how many you need to actively carry at all times based on what's going on in your market. Boy, you're setting yourself up to win. You put that on top of the strategies that work and you like, now this is a business that's fun. Let's talk more about it tomorrow. Inspire members, I'll see you at noon Eastern. Everyone else, see you tomorrow morning. You got your inspiration, go put in the perspiration. Bye.
Thank you, James.
Bye.